taking the time out of your day to join us. You're here listening to Chisme y Chords, where faith, music, and real conversations connect. I am your host, Mercedes Renee.
And I'm your other host, Almisa Valdez, and thank you, listeners and followers. Tonight's guest, we have Mr. Eddie Rodriguez y Los Volcanes. So thank you for joining us tonight, Mr. Rodriguez. How are you?
I'm good. You can call me Eddie because Rodriguez seems too official. Pleasure to be on your show. We just got back from Moses Lake, Washington last weekend. Un saludo para Jerry de la Rosa, a variety of folks that we hadn't seen for a while, but we just finished the weekend out there. That's Eastern Washington. Of course, we are located in Seattle, Washington, which is the West Coast or the west side of Washington. So had a lot of fun out there. Un saludo para todos at Moses Lake. Were out there with us this past weekend. We had such a great time. It's been a while since we've been to Moses Lake. I don't even need to tell you how it might be giving things away. It was a while, so we haven't been there for a while, but it was great to go back there and see all the fans.
Nice. That's amazing. Well, first and foremost, we want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here at Chisme y Chords, and we're super, super elated to have you here and to get your insights on the music industry. So tell us, aside from that performance, tell us what's been going on in the world of music and what have you guys been up to?
So, if you probably have seen, we have a variety of singles and CDs. I want to say because we've been around for a while. We're not a band.
Sir.
Yes, we've been with the Hacienda record label we were with them for about almost 20 years. I think we put out these until the Hacienda Records company came to an end in Corpus Christi. I know that there's still Hacienda Records in San Antonio. So before I get jumped by folks out there, I realize there is still running Hacienda, a different form of Hacienda in San Antonio. We no longer represent or record for that company, who was formerly with and the vice president of Hacienda Records in Corpus Christi. Now his record label is CA Records, who we record for ever since we left Hacienda. I believe we've put out 2 or 3 CDs with Rick, several singles, one you probably will tonight, and variety of music we've been doing. So we've been in this business since 1981. Los Volcanes started. It was named after of Mount St. Helens up here in Washington. I don't know if you guys remember. It was.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It was the result of the eruption of Mount St. Helens up there. We decided to, actually, my mother, God rest her soul, but she decided that we should rename it after that mount or the volcano. So we decided to name the. So that's when it was created in 1981. 1982 went to record for Hacienda Records out of Corpus, and we spent a break from recording for about I want to say 5-6 years in between there. But in the 1990s, when Hacienda music was at the prime, I want to say, we started recording again with Hacienda, and we took up where we left off with my mentor, my friend, Mr. Rick Garcia, who is my producer, my record producer, and he produces our music out of CHR Records now. So we're fortunate enough to be in this business. I've seen it from afar, I want to say. I've seen what you guys are going through, especially Ms. Valdez, have been in San Antonio, in the Texas area, because the music has changed so much since, even the 90s. We've had our ups and downs, as everybody knows. We've lost some key artists along the way that were pretty heartfelt. And, so business has been up and down. But we continue. Just to give you a little bit of history of Washington State, Joel Guzman, Luzmanes here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Joel Guzman.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty popular accordion player. There's a variety of other musicians that have come from here. They had, they've been very popular in the music as well. Enrique Castro and his dad, they were very popular up here because they created the sound up here for the longest time. Be a youngster in the 80s when I started this band, and I think I was about 15, 16 years old, playing the accordion. So from then, and then fast forward until I think it's 2018 when Rick created CHR Records out of Harlingen, Texas. I think he's still in the Valley. I am from the Valley. So originally, I grew up in Texas.
Oh, wow.
And so I think it was about 4 or 5 years old. I shouldn't say I grew up there. I was born there. As you guys, Brownsville, McAllen, Harlingen, all those areas, very familiar. I grew up with my folks being dance promoters in Brownsville, Texas. They would bring the likes of the Tonia Rosas, Rubén Velas, Gilberto Perez, all these icons. I grew up listening to. They were all my icons and my heroes because they played conjunto music. But my father to Seattle back in the late 60s, I want to say 1969, because he was an aircraft in the Valley, in the Rio Grande Valley. So he got hired on as a aircraft mechanic, a company I'm probably going to talk about. And that is the Boeing company who builds aircraft here in Seattle. Mm-hmm. My father was, I want to say recruited, but maybe that's not the right word, but he was hired by the Boeing company to come work in Seattle as an aircraft mechanic since 1969, 1970. But they were making dances, so I got to see all those icons down there and learn a lot of things because they used to come to my parents' house before they perform because my mom would cook for them. Those tortillas and los frijoles and all this other food that they would love to come and, to my mom because she would cook for them before they would perform. Not to mention she would, they were the dance promoters. I got to hear these guys practice in our living room, so to speak, and it was such fun, going through those episodes. We wound up here in Seattle, and here we are. We're still performing after, even when the band was created in 1981, 82-ish. We started Hacienda. We were lucky in a label because Hacienda pretty strict. Then, you had the Gilbertos, used to watch them because there was 2 studios in Hacienda, Studio A, Studio B. Sometimes we would get there, and we would be in the likes of Gilberto Garcia, Los Gilbertos, Rubén Garza, all these icons, that are out. They were out there making this great music, and lucky enough, we were just at the right place at the right time, and we got to hitch on to Hacienda, and there we go.
Wow, that is such an amazing story. Like, just like for your mom cooking the meals to just do everything. Go ahead,
All
Alice.
the originals,
Yeah.
being able to actually witness and hear that. So, as you stated that you played accordion, right? Is there one?
I was a
Go ahead.
I was a bajo sexto player. I was not accordion player to begin with. I was a bajo sexto player. In other words, a guitar player. I was the guitar player.
Yes.
That's what I grew up playing until we got to Washington. Unfortunately, Ms. Valdez, I can tell you guys are spoiled down there because especially the musicians, because there are so many musicians down there. Up here in Washington, we struggle to find musicians to play this kind of music. So, the musicians down there in Texas, they're so fortunate because there's so many of them that play this type of music. Up here in Washington, when I started the band, there was no accordion players. I struggled to get an accordion player. Finally, my father put it on me, who was my manager at the time. He put it on me that, hey, you've got no choice. You're going to have to learn that instrument. And that's what I did. I started studying from the likes of Chavela, the Brown Express. They used to come up here to Washington all the time. I know you guys probably know Ricky Fuentes,
Yeah.
who was his dad was the original owner of the Brown Express, because Brown Express originally was from Brownsville as well, even though that Ricky's dad started it in California. So they used to come up here a lot. And Chavela, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her, but she was a famous accordion player who played with Brown Express when the first Brown Express came out. She would come up here and she was struggling with. And she, I was just a kid. I was 14, 15 years old. She would, she goes, hey, come by just before the show and we'll sit down and I'll show you some basic scales on the accordion that you can learn. And then you go, so nice about that. Not to mention, Gilberto Perez and all these other icons, they were nice enough to show me a lot because I would watch them at the dances. And so it was fortunate for me. I was just in the right place at the right time. I got to witness so many great icons playing, and that's how I learned.
Wow, that is amazing to be around so many amazing musicians and then to have them come to your house and then to experience it growing up and just, that is amazing. I love that for you guys. I love that. So in the midst of all that and in the midst of you growing up in that atmosphere and then you going through it now and being in the music industry, how do you stay spiritually grounded in the music industry now?
Just, over time, it's become a natural thing for us to continue. One other thing I didn't mention, that starting in 2005, we stopped going to Texas to record. We built our own studio here in Seattle. So it was a matter of, keeping up with the times, because the times have changed. Variety of music that's in YouTube of us. We went through our changes, including adding keyboards and stuff throughout the time. Probably my biggest mistake, I want to say. That was not good. I got a lot of flack from the fans that wasn't the direction. and
Yeah.
that's from us. So,
Yeah.
and then when Sarah came, Sarah Fonseca is the new vocalist in the band. I don't want to say
Mhm.
new because she's been with the band for about 10 years. So when she came, we had to change, the style of music we were doing as well. So, like, we were able to adapt to her singing, and from there. In addition to the other folks in the band, my son is my record producer as well as Rick. They co-produce all our music. My son is the drummer of the band, Sean Rodriguez. He is the one that records us in our studio here in Seattle, Washington. So um, we've had we've had a lot of success. You guys probably don't realize what happened to this band. In I want to say 2009, we were invited to the Grammy Awards. So I want to say probably we were the only band of this genre that got invited to actually play on stage. So if you look up in YouTube, before I get jumped here, look it up in 2009. You'll see the interview of us on the red carpet because we were invited to the Grammy Awards by Mr. Neil Diamond.
Wow.
So proof is in the proof
Proof is
is in the
there.
pudding. Go in there and you can see us being interviewed. Neil was behind us when we were being interviewed on the red carpet at the Grammy Awards. It was a tribute to Mr. Diamond in 2009, and he invited us to go there, and we performed, and we had a great time. I don't want to tell you, that was probably the highlight of this band's time, was to get to perform on that stage.
Congratulations. How does that make you feel?
Thank you. Oh, accomplish,
Perfect.
because I've been in this business a long time. And when that happened to us, it was funny because I was still with Hacienda Records. So when Neil, it's a long story, but basically called me, asked us for him because he caught us on a show. I probably shouldn't mention the show, but he caught us in the show. He was in Galveston, some promotional work for the hurricane back then, the hurricane in Galveston. He was there to do some charity work for that particular event that took place there, which was unfortunate because I think there was pretty tragic there what happened in Galveston. So he was there and he happened to catch us on. We were doing the Domingo Live. You guys are familiar with that? It's a television show that is we were on, and he just happened to have seen that. So I got a call from him about 2 weeks later. Little did I know, because I could not even when he called, he has such a deep voice, Brooklyn voice, I want to say, that it kind of scared me, because I wasn't going to answer the phone today, because it was one of those phone calls you get. It says, unknown call. I don't answer those phone calls. But my parents were getting older time, so I was afraid that my mom had gone out and bought one of those special kind of phones that wouldn't show the number or something like that, and something was wrong. Yeah. And fortunately for me, I answered the phone, and lo and behold, it's Mr. Diamond. So that's how that happened. There's history on that all over YouTube about what happened to us. And we got flown into California. We were treated like kings and queens because there's. Needless to say, it was a blessing, because that's what I consider it. It's just blessings that happened to this band, and now here we are. So. Wow. That's what happened.
That is amazing. That is amazing. It has to be such an amazing feeling and humbling feeling. And that is just, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine going to the Grammys and just being able to perform your music in front of such big artists. And
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
just amazing. So congratulations to you and the
Yeah.
band. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Because one more thing, credit I ought to shout out to my brother Gilbert, my younger brother, who started this band with me back in the day. Of course, my son is the current drummer now, but he helped me establish this band, and we got started way back in the day when we used to play those quinceañeras, those bodas, and
Oh,
but it's too and far between nowadays, but.
yeah.
That we do those kinds of events, but it's just been blessings. So when you say, well, where, how do I think about this, or what do I think about this business? This business is hard. I've talked to a lot of brand new artists that are just barely getting started, and one thing that I advise to do is to have a lot of patience. This business is rough, and if you don't, you just you gotta be at the right moment. I don't know how else to be at the right place at the right
No, yeah,
time
for sure.
Right.
to be as fortunate as we've been and blessed as we've been.
Absolutely. We completely understand that. So if you could describe your sound in 3 words, what would your 3 words be? And then why are those 3 words important?
Uh, 3 words that I didn't get that.
Describe your
What's
sound.
that?
If you
What
could
were you trying
describe
to?
your sound in 3 words, what
Okay,
would that be?
okay.
And then why are those 3 words important?
Conjunto Tejano, progressive Tejano. Those are the best ways to describe us, because I think we've experimented in the three varieties out there. Conjunto more than anything else, because that's what I grew up, listening to. That's what I started to do, and we were blessed enough to be successful at those things. And but those are the three, maybe four describe the sound that we have. But we're back to basic conjunto. I want to say conjunto progressive, because with a gal in the band now, with a girl in the band, I should say. It's changed, and we're trying to do a little bit more variety with her, and I want to say we're trying to establish the sound that we're going to go forward with, because at some point I know my son will probably be taking over this whole band. So he wants to be a little bit more progressive.
Oh, nice. Well, that's amazing. So we have 2 people. We have Mr. Danny Noyola, who says saludos. He is from Corpus Christi. He's also an artist. He's amazing. And then we have Mr. Joe Liao. He says saludos, my beautiful amigas. And Eddie
Saludos.
Rodriguez, he says keep going strong. He's also an artist. He's
Thank you.
amazing as well. He's from
Saludos.
Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah, and Danny is from San Antonio. They're both amazing. Mr. Danny's going to be on the first. As a matter of fact, he's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
Yes, he's amazing. So tell us about
Cool.
Dame Derecho. Is that right? The new song that you have out.
Yeah, that's the new the latest the latest single, yeah,
Okay,
on
tell us about how
CHR
that came
record.
about.
Well, we go through some periods of times. Like I say, since Sarah has joined the band, know, singles, and my record producer, Mr. Garcia, asked me to get back to what we've been doing in the past, because again, I think the fans have followed us for quite a bit of time now. What we struggle with is that because we're 3,000 miles away from Texas, so we play up here in the Pacific Northwest. So when Rick asked me to go back to the basics and do some songs with me at vocals, doing the lead vocals again, I was kind of surprised because we've been having a lot of success.
Mm.
And but he wanted me to take a step back and take some time out and do this for the fans who have been asking me for music more related to what we started out doing. So I'll just say that that's what brought this single on. This time is a pretty popular song. It's a mariachi song. I know that have recorded it as well. I'm not sure. We're pretty sure there's other artists that have recorded the single, but we took our stab at it, and I want to say that's something that I've always tried to tell the new coming up and coming bands is if you notice, we have our own style. We don't play like other bands.
Yeah.
We never have. I remember Rick Garcia the first time I stepped into the Studio A of Hacienda Records, him telling me, if you're here to do Ramon Ayala, if you're here to do Los Cachorros, if you're here to do any kind of that kind of band, you better go home and save your money. And I always said to myself, I'm never going to copy nobody. I'm going to be myself.
Awesome.
And that's what you.
Oh, for sure. I've listened to both songs and they're amazing. So you're great. And you're absolutely right. So with that said, here we go.
Si me miran que por fuera me estoy riendo, solo lo hago para estar disimulando. La verdad es que por dentro de mi pecho traigo penas que a casi me están matando. Yo lamento que tendré que haber todo esto. Yo lamento que haya tanto sufrimiento, pero ¿qué hago si el destino así ha querido? Que mi corazón te llora aquí por dentro. ¿Hasta cuándo iré a aguantarme sin decirle al mundo entero que te quiero? ¿Hasta cuándo me vas a dar el derecho pa' quitarme y hasta pena de mi pecho? Tendré que haber todo esto. Yo lamento que haya tanto sufrimiento, pero ¿qué hago si el destino así ha querido? Que mi corazón te llora aquí por dentro. ¿Hasta cuándo iré a aguantarme sin decirle al mundo entero que te quiero? ¿Hasta cuándo me vas a dar el derecho pa' quitarme y hasta pena de mi pecho?
So good. So good.
I do like. It reminds me of you know how they had that I don't want to say vintage musica, but the way that conjunto music was originally made, I guess, from way back
Yeah.
when. That's what it just sounds so authentic. Like,
Right.
yeah, I like it. Sounds great.
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
thank you. Again, we took a step back. Unfortunately, Mercedes, I don't think you got some of Sarah's songs that we could have heard today. But
Amen.
again, Dame el Derecho. It was basically asked by Rick for us to take a little step back and go back in history and of how we started this music. And so, when you say traditional conjunto style music, I think of all my icons that my heroes, Rubén Bela, Alberto Perez, Tony de la Rosa. Gilberto Garcia was another icon of mine, and even though he wasn't back in the Alberto's, they started pretty much at the same time we did, uh, although they were with different record companies, but they came to Hacienda, so we got to see the likes of them at the studio in Corpus. So lots of that really paid their dues and such big artists. I learned from them, although advice from the record company, and basically they told me that to be myself. So that's what we did.
Well, you sound amazing. You sound amazing. Your voice
Thank
is
you so much.
amazing. Music is amazing. I love every bit of it. So
What it used to be.
congratulations. Oh
But
no, you sound great. I love it. I love it.
because
Yep,
like I said
I
again,
sure do.
it's I been fortunate enough to be in this business for a long time, and we're just blessed to continue to play music. Like I said, we just finished a fantastic like Eastern Washington, and what is real feels good is the fans still remember us, even though we haven't been to that town in a long time. They came out, they came to support. I think that's the most biggest thing that I do is to say to folks is that without support, and that might be the biggest and the first artist that is going out there for their first steps, if we don't support their music, this music is going to go dying
Right.
at some point.
Yes.
We
I
need to
agree.
support that anything
And keep it alive. Yep.
that they're doing, especially the new artist, go out and support them because they need that to continue music, or else it's just going to die out, and that's not what we want.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Jolial says, great song. Like the lyrics, it's a style of its own. And then we have Mr.
Yeah.
Lawrence Indio
Oh yes,
Casares
Lawrence.
says, hi, everyone. He says,
Hi,
showing
Lawrence.
support. Eddie y los Volcanes are easily one of my favorite bands. Great people to boost. Keep up the
Thank you.
great work. Yes. So everybody's out here
Thank
showing
you,
you
Lawrence.
some love. Everybody's showing you some love. So Tejana
great.
music and music in general is always evolving. So where do you see the genre heading, and how do you see yourself in it? How do you see yourself in it?
Well, for as long as I can still keep doing this, I hope
Yeah.
that we continue into making more music that is interesting for folks, because we are different. So
Mhm.
when we try something, we got to. I know a couple of years back we tried keyboards, we tried different vocalists that didn't work out. I know, I heard that we needed to get back
Right.
to the basics. Yeah, get back to where I started, and but again, with a girl in the band, it kind of drove everything kind of sideways, because we never had and luckily enough, we found Sarah Fonseca, who's been with us for a while now. That her vocals were unique, doesn't imitate anybody. She sings her way. If you heard some of the, even the singles that are out there on YouTube and the different things that she's done, a different direction, I want to say, for the band. My son was the one that convinced me we needed to go that direction and introduce a gal or a girl into the band because of the fact that there's so many things that are happening out there right now. I want to get back to your question, which was, I think I lost focus on what your actual question was. Where do I see us going?
Yeah, I said Tejano music.
Where do I see us going?
Yeah, Tejano music is evolving.
Yeah.
It always is evolving. So where do you
Yes.
see yourself going with them while the music is evolving?
So keep changing because this music. If you notice, again, I'll point out the fact that people were hearing some of our latest Sarah singing. Watermelon Moonshine. Whoever thought that Watermelon Moonshine was going to be released in a cumbia? That's a famous country song. And if you listen to it, it was an excellent idea that my son Sean and Sarah came out with to make that song into a. So where do I see it going? The picture. My good friend Sonny Sauceda, I'm sure you guys know, brought a lot of country and with other artists as well. But Sonny's done a real job of bringing the country into the Hano flavor, I want to say. And it has brought some change continuing to happen is you're going to probably see bilingual country, other types of music being fitted into this genre, which is going to be in the future because I can't wait to hear what new ideas there's going to that are evolved from just trying. So it's going to be interesting. But Watermelon Moonshine is another single that we a couple of years did very well for us. So that's what I see.
Nice. I'm trying to see if I can download it right now. That way we can play it as well. So
Yeah.
I'll say you chit chat while I try and do that.
I want to know if there was one piece of advice that you would give to somebody, what would it be to try to stay in this industry? Because you've been in it for so long.
Patience. Because people want things to happen overnight, and they don't happen overnight. Let me tell you, it took a long time today, and you just got to have patience. You got to be at the right time, at the right place for things to start happening. But if you don't have the patience for this is not the right genre of music. You should go with the country or another genre, because this genre of music is patience. And one other thing I've told a lot of podcasts that I've been on is that, we need the support of the public. The public needs to support these musicians, everybody, because it's going to fade away.
Right.
You're absolutely right about that.
So what do you have upcoming in the near future? Good. What events are going on?
Of course, all our shows are up here in the Pacific Northwest. We play a lot of Washington, of course. We're trying to get back into Idaho, but in the near future, we're going to be back in Oregon coming up in both Salem and Woodburn and Oregon. So be successful at trying to keep playing, and because it's not hard, it's not easy, I should say,
Right.
to keep playing up here. The I don't want to tell you the Tejano venues that I grew up here playing in. I can tell you they're gone. They're gone. So and the radio stations that were up here, they're gone. It's very hard to be a musician up here. There's it's not as easy as it used to be. Let's put it that way.
Wow. That's so sad to hear. That's sad to hear. But I will say here in Kansas, it's the same way. Like there's not a lot of Tejano music here. There's salsa, like salsa merengue and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there's not at all.
No, and that's what we deal with up here. I can tell you the nightclubs that we used to play at all turned into banda nightclubs.
Yeah. Or that norteño.
If you want to hear, that's another genre of music that you want to hear that genre of music. There's plenty of nightclubs but unfortunately, we're Tejanos up here as much as we used to be.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I want to say, give a shout out.
The festival.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
So if it wasn't for play with or play at like this past weekend, the fiestas and the I want to call them fiestas because they're in the time. You're outside.
Yeah.
And those kinds of events, those kinds of events, it would be a struggle even for us. Luckily, we get booked up from those events, and they continue to so we to play those events and keep playing. So.
Wow. Well, we'll be praying that hopefully it gets better, and hopefully, like doing podcasts like these will get your stuff out there and open doors, and hopefully, things will start looking up and stuff. So we'll be praying for that on you for sure.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I want to give a shout out to Miss Serene Everly. She says, "Hola, Mercedes Renee." Hi, Serene. It's so good to see your beautiful face in here. She's another young lady. She's an artist. She's a young artist out there, and she's such a beautiful soul. Serene, we need to get you plugged in on here. We need to get you on here as a guest, young lady. Let's see. So we have everybody on here tuning in. So Danny's still in here. Joe is still in here. Everybody's in here. Brenda Blanco is in here watching. Hi, Brenda. She's an artist. So we have so many artists in here for you watching and listening to your advice. So that is amazing. Yeah. So we are going to play a little game of this or that. So Misa, go ahead and give him the rules.
There's two options, but you're only allowed to choose one.
Okay.
Not a maybe, no, it's just one. Just one. And it's not a test. There's no wrong answers.
Okay. Here we go. Accordion or baja sexto? Which one hits your soul first?
Okay, so I didn't hear all of your question.
Okay, accordion or baja sexto? Which one hits your soul first?
Oh, bajo sexto, no doubt.
Okay. A lot of people say accordion. Okay, George Strait Country or Ramon Ayala Accordion Classic? Which one sets the mood?
George Strait.
I didn't expect
George
that
Strait.
from him. I was like,
yeah. Okay, if you could bring back
Not
woman
to, not to,
legend.
hey folks, not to say, just not to interrupt you, but that's not to say that Ramon Ayala is not a good musician or his music's not fantastic. I mean,
Right.
come on. I mean, he's been
Country,
around for
baby. Both, yeah,
years.
both. Yeah.
And you know, he's an icon. What can I? But what? Who would I go to see tomorrow if they were in Seattle, Washington? Of course, I'm going to go see George Strait.
Okay,
Okay,
I
okay.
agree. Me too.
All right. If you could bring
Yeah,
back one legendary Tejano concert for one night only, would it be Selena at the Houston Astrodome or Emilio in his prime?
I want to say Emilio Nevada. He, Emilio, there was nothing like him. Even though Ram, has said that Emilio sang like him. I don't care. Emilio Nevada, when he came out with David Lee Garza, it was amazing. Now I'm
Hmm.
not taking anything away. You know that Selena was a fantastic female artist, but
Right.
Emilio, when he came out with David Lee Garza, it was amazing. He did amazing things. He changed. I want to say Emilio was a very big impact, almost as big uh,
Yeah.
because of the
Hmm.
fact the way he sang. But Emilio, if I were to go want to see somebody, let's say it was between Emilio and Nevada tomorrow, it would be Emilio.
Nice. Okay. You're the first person who said Emilio. The first person. I
Yeah,
love that.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Okay. If you could only listen to one artist catalog for the next year, would it be Selena, Emilio, Bobby, Jay, Little Joe, or La Mafia? Who are you picking?
Wow, that's some heavy hitters there.
Uh-huh.
I think it would be Bolivia.
You can't. You have to pick one. No
I
ties.
would say Emilio again.
Emilio.
Emilio.
He has his
So
own
just so you
authentic
guys,
style,
yeah.
right?
So just so you guys know, Selena used to come up here before she was big. You know,
Big.
the Selena. She's she's got family here in Washington.
Yeah.
I believe it's on her mom's side. So they would come up here. So you know, but this is before she became Selena, the big star. Emilio, on the other hand, would come up here throughout his career. He would come up here more than anybody. When in the middle, when he just started the Rio band, his own band, he
Hmm.
came up here so many times. And believe me, he going to go see him because he was great. Emilio and their show, Raulito, his brother,
Hmm.
they did some amazing things. Not to say that Selena is not, didn't do those amazing shows because she did, but I want to say Emilio went into the country scene,
Right. The crossover.
and during that time he went into country music. He came up here, so he was here with the likes of I want to say he played with Toby Keith and all these
Hmm.
other artists, So
Right. He was on.
Alan Jackson,
Yes. Yep.
yeah, he was on that ticket. So
There was.
what more can you ask for than an artist from this genre to
Right.
be on stage with the likes of Alan Jackson and all these really big
Big time.
stars?
Hmm.
You got to give credit where credit's due.
That's right.
Emilio
Absolutely.
did that.
I
Absolutely.
agree. Yep.
Absolutely.
And I
I
love
love
how his band Grupo Rio, who we were
Yeah.
honored to actually interview, how they're keeping his legacy alive and the music, because people don't realize, or in my opinion, don't realize how phenomenal Emilio was to be able to sing the
Yeah.
Tejano and cross over into country and be on that platform, like you mentioned, with all those
Right.
country singers. I mean, come on now, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Another thing, too, is that some of those artists you mentioned, they've never been up here. I don't
mm,
think Jay Pettis has ever been to Seattle.
mm.
Who was the other ones you mentioned? Jay and a
Little
couple of
Joe,
other artists. They've never.
Mafia.
Little Joe used to come. Little Joe used to come up here. Mafia's been up here, uh, but not too and far between. When Emilio was at his peak, he was up here. He would come up here.
Wow.
That's
You got to
amazing.
give credit to
Yeah,
that.
I
He
agree.
would come up here.
I love it. I love it. That's amazing. And I also loved Emilio's dance when he would be like, dun, 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 dun,
The
dun,
shuffle.
yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
Or
shuffle.
him and
I
his
That's
brother.
it. I mean,
yeah,
they were so. Yes,
loved it.
and,
Yeah.
and to imagine just in the likes of an Alan Jackson or a concert with Alan Jackson or Toby Keith or some of these other great artists that he would come up with on the ticket. Imagine that he would get up there and do the shuffle.
Yes.
Yeah.
With
And
Raulito,
drop-
and
yep.
and all these artists are watching him.
Yes.
You can tell they're on the sideline watching them. So how much prouder can you be
Yeah.
Right.
of a man like that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Okay. So accordion or horn section?
Of course.
Okay. If you could have one dance floor anthem, would it be from Mas or Signal?
Ooh.
I've I don't know wow, that's a hard choice too. I think because of the fact that Moss has been there so long, I would probably pick Moss.
Okay. If you had a choice between a Texas barbecue plate or classic fideo and homemade tortillas, what's feeding the studio session?
Homemade tortillas and fideo, of course.
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Country steel guitar cry or rock distortion riff, which sound sneaks into your music more often?
So we've done some country ourselves. So the steel guitar. The steel guitar is one of my favorite instruments.
Nice.
That would be my favorite.
Awesome. Arena concert energy or backyard pachanga vibes? Where do you shine brightest?
So we don't play really backyard stuff up here. So I would have to say arena, probably. But
Concert?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a concert. Yeah.
Yeah. Cowboy hat or flat brim Tejano cap? What's the signature look?
So if you notice some of the singles that we've got out in the past, I've always wore the cowboy hats. So I went through that era of the cowboy hats, and you just showed our latest. I got out of the era, although I've been getting some flack over it because back in the day, I used to wear the cowboy hats and stuff, and the cowboy shirts, of course, because those are people actually like those styles of music. That's another thing I think that we've gotten away from. The newer bands, they don't dress up like they used to.
Yeah.
The new bands, it's almost like some of them, I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but some of them almost look like the roadies up on stage because they don't dress.
Yep.
It's like the David Lee Goddessa. I've got David Lee Goddessa band. When have you ever seen them not dress nice?
Exactly. They're
Very
always
nice.
sharp, always always
Yes.
on point. I agree. All the time.
Yes.
Represent.
I know that the newer bands out there, I don't think they think that way anymore. I think it's more like we're gonna just wear what we want to wear, each individual band member. But I'm from old school, so
Right.
I like the traditional, dress up alike and try to look like a professional band.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. It looks more
Right.
professional that way for
Yeah.
sure.
Most definitely. Yep.
Yeah. Last question is cumbia groove or ranchera power? Which rhythm feels more like home?
Well, so that's a good question because I think that the fans were making that well known this past weekend out in Moses Lake that I love the cumbias. I don't take anything away from cumbias. They're nice, especially if they're got a good groove and a different pattern of a beat. Because the cumbias nowadays, yeah, I'm sure you guys have noticed that it's changed.
Oh yeah.
There are different patterns of cumbias out there, and the beats are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beats are different. So I would say for the fans, are you talking about me, my preference?
Your preference.
Your preference.
My preference would be rancheras. I still am old school, so rancheras are still, you know, they are important to me. As you can see, Dame Derecho, and but the cumbias are out there, especially if you're a female singer. You've got, and going back to Selena, she loved those cumbias that she did, and those rhythms that AB uh, came out with for her to do her cumbias were amazing, to say the least.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us about Watermelon Sun Moonshine,
Moonshine.
and then we're going to go ahead and play that.
Yeah, well, again, it's a famous country song, and
It is.
I'm sure you guys heard
I heard it.
Watermelon Moonshine before with the country art. She was just did.
It was
I
Leanne
can't
Womack.
remember her. No,
Was it Leanne
it
Womack
was,
that sings that? No.
no, it's another newer country artist. But she just was on the last concert of Alan Jackson because he did a farewell concert, I
Oh,
think
Amy
yesterday or
Wilson
day
sings
before.
that song, does she not? Isn't it
Yes,
Amy Wilson?
yes,
Okay, so I was like,
that's
wait,
what
hold on. Yes, that's one of her originals, actually, right from way back. Okay,
yes,
and y'all made
yes.
it into a cumbia.
So yeah, we did. My son and Sarah came out with the idea, along with the bass player too, David Chaitis. So came out with, hey, let's try this song and bring it out in a cumbia and see how people react to it. Well, it was great. That's why earlier you were asking where do I see things going. I see more country songs making their way into our
Right.
genre, and different artists performing them. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, with that said, here we go.
It was right after senior year, just before the summer disappeared. We went a riding them old farm rugs, hanging out on the gate of his truck. Threw a blanket 'neath the sunset, Oh, drinking watermelon moonshine. We cut the burn with a little lime. Harking back in them kudzu vines. I was his and every bit of that boy was mine. Too young to know what love was, but we were learning on a sweet buzz. There's never nothing like the first time, and mine's only gonna taste like watermelon moonshine. Watermelon moonshine. Hey, yeah. Watermelon moonshine.
She sounds so good. She has a
She
beautiful voice.
does.
Yeah.
I like that. It's so
This-
different and catchy, though. I would have never expected
Yeah.
that. I like that. That is different.
That's the comments that we get, especially when she sings. Is I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but Sarah's got a really nice voice. She's easy to
agree.
listening to.
Yes.
And she's been at this for a while. It's not like she started doing this yesterday. So, we've been fortunate enough to have her in the band. Again, this was an idea from my son, Sean. Decided that he wanted to try out a female, a vocalist in the band, and it was probably one of the best decisions we made was to bring a female on. So, the only thing the only thing that is had to take some adjustments to was inside the bus with us. So we all have to be at our best behavior and respectful. And but that was
That's
the only thing.
hilarious.
But she's just she makes a lot. She makes it a lot of fun for us because she jokes around with us and tries to get us to, even before a concert, tries to get us to settle down and, just have a good time. Because that's what she does, is just have a good time.
Oh, that's so good. Well, I am so happy for you guys, as is Almisa, and we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And what do you have coming up? Number one, do you have any merch that you guys have, and where can we get all of your music? What platforms?
All the platforms, we carry all, Spotify, iTunes, all the platforms that I can't remember all of them. That Sean's better than me at those things, but of course, CHR Records. We have our own Facebook. Just look up Los Volcanes de Eddie Rodriguez. We're in Facebook. We've got shows coming up in Oregon in the near future. We're back in this next week, just before the July 4th weekend. So we continue to try to put music out for folks to listen to and hopefully enjoy. I look forward to Amisa. I look forward to see you. Hopefully, I'm not sure about Kansas, Mercedes, to Kansas, but hopefully sometime.
Well, I'm always back in San Antonio, so I'm always in San Antonio. So we'll meet
that's good.
eventually.
That's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And absolutely let us know and keep us updated with your
I know-
schedule.
For sure, because we get down to San Antonio, and mostly, when we go down there, we do a lot of Valley, Harlingen, Brownsville, that area. Of course, we do visit San Antonio as well. So next time, forget though, folks, I need to shout out to Roy Arriega. I don't know if you know Roy, but he is the one that puts out our music, and along with Hilda Pena. Between both of them, they are the ones that put out our music out there. So saludos para Hilda, para Roy. They've been such a great joy to work with. They work closely with Rick Garcia. out of CHR Records. So, saludos para ellos, and all the fans that tune into your show. Thank you. So let me say thank you to in the time to on every podcast I go and commend the folks that take time out of their life to do things like this, to promote our music and continue to promote our music. We couldn't do it without folks like you that support us out here. So thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. We really, really appreciate it. And speaking of Mr. Roy Ariaga, he is on here as well. And he says that Eddie Shuffle is next. Like the Emilio Shuffle, he says the Eddie Shuffle is next. And he also says,
Yeah,
hello,
so
Mercedes
Roy,
and Almisa.
Thank you.
yeah, Roy's such a big supporter of us. I think, Roy and I go back a couple of years, more than a couple, but he's always been supportive of the band. Even though we're up here in Washington, Roy continues to support us and gets us on to all of these podcast shows. Thank him enough. He's a great promoter, and he has a lot of other artists, not just us. Make sure you're tuning into what Roy is doing, because he's got a lot of great artists.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, shout out to Mr. Ariaga. So, yes. So thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us. And we will be praying for you. And I know greatness is on the horizon for you guys, like it always has been. We'll be praying for doors to open up in Washington for you.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but happiness and blessings your way. Thank you so, so much.
Igualmente. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Blessings
Yes, blessings to you
to
always.
both of you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful and
Blessings.
blessed evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
He's such a delight. His stories
Yes.
are amazing.
And to be able to stick around in this industry for so long just speaks volumes on the will to not give up and to continue and to keep this music out there. Like he mentioned, he brought up some, I don't want to say vintage, but they were like the from it was
Yes.
the way I go into their bands, to open up and to allow that. They're going with the flow, and as well. That was really neat. The country funk that they put into that cumbia. I would have never expected that, but it's neat to know the ears of
Right. Like where they can take the music. Like where they can take the music. For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I love that his mom used to cook for artists back in the day. I
Yes.
love that. I love that.
And it's
I love
amazing how, yes, the way your little God drops, the way you always talk about how when he mentioned earlier, you have to be at the right place at the right time. It's got timing. You need to cook and then insit in your children, and then your children elevate to become musicians, and their children and their children, and that's just how it works. So it's just, I love it. I love it.
It's like that Christian song, and your children.
That's right. That's right.
I love it.
The way they should go. That's exactly right.
Yes, yes. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to Alcantar Music for being our sponsor. She is such an amazing soul. If you would like to be our sponsor, contact me, contact Almisa. If you would like to support our stream, hit that QR code up there. And also, I have a GoFundMe on my page. It's on my page and it is on Almisa's page. It'll tell you about my cancer journey and what the GoFundMe is for. Also, join us tomorrow. Mr. Peter Torres is going to be joining us. And that, just a fun fact, that is Brenda Blanco's son. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing interview. And then we will have Mr. Danny Noyola on July 1st.
Yeah.
And then we'll let you know who we have on Thursday. So thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. We love each and every one of you, and we are sending so many blessings your way. And you guys have an amazing evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Good night. Blessings.